pine tree in front of us is on an island in a lake, one of the largest recreational lakes in Massachusetts, if not the largest, part of a state forest. And this lake was built in 1862. That's when they began cutting down the trees and tearing down the houses. This lake was originally created as a reservoir to provide power for Collins Axe, which is a company about 15 miles south of us on the Farmington River in Connecticut. That company needed a regular supply of water, and the Farmington River has steep drainage, so this was a power reservoir that would provide consistent water supply. The trees were cleared, the farmhouses were destroyed, the stone walls remain on the bottom of the lake. This is another reservoir story where people lost their family farms that had been in their family for years. But the point is, that pine is gigantic. It's a massive white. And there's another on the hill over there. So what my brother and I are doing is we're cruising across the lake because we want to investigate that pine and consider how tall it is, maybe the circumference. We're not doing this scientifically, but we know that there are people that watch this channel that are really into trees, and they might want to get out on Otis Reservoir's Clark Island and investigate the height of not only this majestic white, but the one down there. I almost guarantee you that tree was growing on this high ground, which was part of merino sheep pasturage at the time the reservoir was created. So this thing is, what is it, Pete? 160 years old or older. And we are about to be killed by a jet ski, but that's okay. That's what it's like driving around on a recreational lake. Look at them. They're having a good time. Look at the farmer's tan on that kid. So we just got out of the kayak and we're making our way through this forest on the island, which used to be really thick, but it seems to be opening up a little bit. And we got a lot of great specimens here. That is an amanita. Don't eat the amanita. They will kill you. Up here is where that pine is, and it's really kind of a cool. We're both looking for the pine, which seems like it'd be easy to see when you're looking at it from the lake. But when you get under the canopy, even though the canopy's been lightened up by the beech blight, we got beech bark disease and beech leaf disease very prevalent here. We still haven't seen the pine. Check out these. Look at the poor blighted beech leaves here, victim of the beech leaf disease.
This oak stand is not the same size as that last.
Yeah, that's a big oak, and so is this one right here.
These are probably growing 150 years ago, 160 years ago.
Looking up at the leaves. Beautiful big oaks. So where the heck is that pine tree? We're lost on an island. A lot of huckleberries here. Look at them all. Beautiful. Tons of them. You actually pick them and make some kind of a pie. I don't think so. Big, beautiful oak here. So we're leaving the Quercus rubra behind. We got a couple nice big red oaks back there. And here's a black. Isn't that a black right there? Yeah, so this is a black birch. One of my favorite trees. And there's more of our friends, the mushrooms at the base. This is really an undisturbed environment. Look at this big old birch right here. Big old birch. And look at it. It's growing out of a pillow, Pete. Look at the pillow in the cradle. So this is what you would call pillow. And the hole right there is the cradle. So that the tree that we're looking at, the remains of the tree, was standing there. And what are we doing? We're looking southwest. So probably, yeah, there's another one right there.
No, you have this.
You can actually see the decayed mound under us, this ridge. So as I've told you before, a forest is a crime scene. And if this thing fell pointing northeast, it probably fell as the result of a hurricane. This thing is really disintegrated, so it could have been the 38 hurricane that took this thing out, and this is the remains, or it could have been a hurricane from even before, the no-name storm of 1897. There's a whole bunch of historic New England hurricanes. But Pillow, there's the Pillow, this mound, and there's the cradle. That's where the tree was standing. It uprooted. The whole tree fell that direction. Fell from here down here. You can actually see from this angle. Look at where the tree stood, and then the fallen tree that makes a mound going all the way across. Really shows up well. Cool. And you can see where we are here. There's a whole bunch of pillows and cradles. These mounds where a storm took out a whole bunch of trees. Big hemlock, laurel, ghost pipes, pillows and cradles. There's another one. Look at it. Look at, you can see the uneven surface of the ground. Just pillow, cradle, pillow, cradle, pillow, cradle. Really cool in this little forest on this island here in the middle of Otis Reservoir. So here's a big, beautiful white right here going up. And these were really the heart and soul of the New England economy for a long time during the colonial period, when the British were using the New England forests as a bank account to keep the Royal Navy in masts. And they identified any tree, I think it was larger than 22 inches, it might have been 26 inches, as king's pines. And you weren't allowed to cut them if you were a colonist. They were reserved for the Royal Navy.
Stamped with HMS.
HMS would have been too much work. You know, they would have had to write HMS. So let's look at this pine over here. So that white pine, right over here. Let's estimate how tall this thing is. I have no idea how I'm going to estimate how tall this is. So look at that. Steve, go stand by the white pine so we can show them the size of that pine based on you standing there. He's got his wrestling, West Side Wrestling shirt on today. Yes. Now look at the size of this. That's a good size white pine. What do we got behind us? Is that a black or a yellow birch? Looks like a yellow, which beavers don't like. There used to be lady slippers out here, remember? I don't know if there are any lady slippers, but there's nothing bothering. You know, people don't come on this island. It's not like you can't come on this island. It's just nobody does. Uh-oh, Peeper. What are we looking at here? Is this bear scat? I think it is. Do bears shit in the woods? I think they might. Looks a little bit. There's a that's bear scat. There's a Rosola mushroom. Rosolas are used. That's called the vomitor. It's got a name that kind of rhymes with vomit because they used to make a tincture out of that so that they could purge people back in the colonial period. It's got a lot of
interesting about being on an island with that bear scat too.
Right.
You'll never think, oh, island. The animals are going to be on the island.
So look at this beautiful big oak. That's another, tree that's, 3 feet around at the base. Pillows and cradles. My brother estimates it to be about 90 feet high. I don't know how he did it, but we're going to ask. Forests are crime scenes. So looking at the ground here, we see an uproot. And this one, how did this fall,
It's not
Steve?
towards me because the pit is below.
Okay, there's the big pit over there, and it fell in this direction from a southeasterly wind. Again, maybe a hurricane. And then right here, we can see the damage that it did to this young beech. Well, it's not really that young, and it's a beech, even though it's all mauled up by beech bark disease. But you can see how it was pinned to the ground by the tree fall, and it spiraled through the blowdown, and it gives us this beautiful example of how things want to live. They don't want to die, and this wasn't created by a native tribe. The Tungus didn't put this here, marking a pathway to get anywhere. And oh, look at, he points at raisinets. That's the deer that are now so prevalent in the state of Massachusetts.
But again, we're on an island. We got bear poop. We got
bear poop and deer poop
right
on an island. That, well, you know, the north end of the island is only 30 yards away from the shoreline, but we've seen deer swim across this lake in different places. So they don't have any problem doing that. Look at the size of that bolette. The bolette. Look at them. Oh, yeah. The magic bolette. There's a lot of people that love bolettes. I don't like them because you don't really get a lot often. People will take them and they'll only eat the very outer casing of the bolette. So our huckleberries or wintergreen create berries, which means they need to create flowers. And here you can see their flowers. It's a little lily of the valley looking flower. A botanist will tell me what that flower resembles or what it, how it's, oh no. Hollow. Cool. So you can see that white pine. My brother estimates to be about 90 feet high, with the rest of the canopy being around 65, 70 feet high. I'm going to go with his estimation. It still makes me think that the one on the other side of the island right there is going to be much larger. But of course, that's the same kind of deal. It's above a canopy of forest that has been regrowing. So that could be about the same, 90, 95 feet high. And that's it. You don't see that many whites that are that big.
No, they used to get 200 feet tall.
Yeah, 220 feet tall. You know, 220 feet tall is a big tree. And the Royal Navy loved them because you didn't, you know, they were
strong,
light. They were also flexible.
Easily milled.
Yeah, easily worked. And one of the wonders of the Northeast economy early on. So we checked out a white pine today, and other stuff too, like pillows and cradles. And what are them things called? The little pines?
Oh, lycopodium.
Lycopodiums.
Or they call them princess pines.
Princess pines. We can make wreaths out of them. Them little. But we found out because of him that they used to use it to make flash powder, which I feel like I remember, but I can't. You know, I remember and I forget. You can see the other side of the lake. There's some big white pines over there, but nothing like the one that we just looked at.